Two worlds, one peace. Until greed tried to drown it all. For centuries, the kingdom of Alara's home of the humans and the kingdom of Naruna, where the mermaids ruled the deep, lived in harmony. Their bond was sacred, sealed with trust and trade. Humans brought food, cloth, and music. Mermaids offered wisdom, beauty, and pearls from their tears, gifts they gave willingly in friendship. But not all hearts are pure. His name was Lord Veron, a man so rich that gold no longer satisfied him. He wanted pearls, not just any pearls. Mermaid tears, he called them the gems of sorrow, and he was willing to do anything to own them. By night, his ships sailed silently beyond the borders of Aloris and deep beneath the waves. Nets were cast, not for fish, but for mermaids. They were captured, locked away, and forced to cry until their tears hardened into shimmering pearls. Each pearl sold to foreign kingdoms for fortunes beyond imagination. Veron grew richer, but the sea grew restless. Soon, the mermaids began to vanish. Families wept. Songs of sorrow echoed in the depths of Naruna, and their king, King Narun, grew uneasy. "Who dares touch my people?" he thundered. His guards scoured the ocean, but no trace of the culprit was found. Until one moonlit night, a young sea guard named Coraline saw something strange, a human ship lingering above the forbidden trench. From its deck, a man hurled a net weighted with stones, and in it, a crying mermaid. Coraline followed the ship to shore and rushed to tell her king. When King Naren demanded answers, he called upon the human king, King Alden of Alaris. A meeting of peace was held at dawn, but there, among the human council, stood the traitor himself, Lord Veron, dressed in royal silk, his lips curled in false innocence. He bowed and said, "My lord, it is the mermaids who attack our ships. They steal our treasures from the sea. Perhaps they wish for war." His words were poison. The human king's heart hardened, and the fragile peace between land and sea began to crack. In the midst of it all lived Seren, half human, half mermaid. Her mother was human, her father, a noble from Naruna. She lived between two tides, never fully belonging to either. When the tension rose, humans called her fish spawn. The mermaids whispered half-blood. But there was one person who never turned away, Eron, her childhood friend. Together, they watched as fear grew, as borders closed. As the sea grew cold and the land hostile, Seren's heart broke. But Eron looked at her and said, "If we don't find the truth, peace will drown forever." So, they began to investigate. Secretly, quietly, they followed ships at night, hiding beneath docks and listening through cracks in palace walls. And one night, they saw it, Lord Veron's ship, heavy with cages, inside, mermaids. Serene's heart raced as she whispered, "He's the one." They needed proof. So Eron stole one of Veron's scrolls, trade records filled with pearl shipments sent to distant kingdoms. And together, they crafted a plan. They sent word to both kings, a letter from a merchant claiming to have the largest collection of mermaid pearls ever gathered. The kings agreed to meet the mysterious seller in secret. At the appointed night, both arrived, one from land, one from sea, to a quiet cove under the silver moon. And there stood Veron, surrounded by crates of pearls. When he saw the kings, he smiled nervously. "My lords, this is a misunderstanding." But before he could finish, Seren and Eron stepped out from the shadows. "Tell them, Lord Veron," Seren said, her voice trembling with fury. "Tell them where these pearls came from behind them." They revealed the hidden cages, filled with frightened mermaids. The kings' faces turned pale. Truth crashed over them like a wave. Veron tried to flee, but King Naren's trident split the tide before him. "You turned our peace into pain," the Sea King roared. King Alden's voice followed, heavy with betrayal. "You have stained my throne with greed." The two kings united their decree. Lord Veron would be banished to the caves of Tereth, a prison where sea and land meet. There, water laps against jagged rocks, neither fully drowning nor fully saving him. The only way in or out, through the deep, and so. He was left there, to hear the ocean he once exploited whisper his guilt every night. When peace returned, the kings rebuilt trust, the mermaid sang once again, and trade resumed with gratitude and respect. Seren, once rejected by both worlds, was named Keeper of the Tides, a bridge between land and sea, and Eron? He stood beside her, loyal as the waves that meet the shore. Together they watched the sunrise, a promise that peace, though fragile, can always be reborn, because in the end the sea does not forget. But it forgives those brave enough to fight for harmony. If you enjoy this story, don't forget to subscribe, like, comment your favorite part.